Welcome everybody. Luis Morales here, health fitness specialist with Exos at Autodesk. And this is a Thursday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. stretch break, the last live stretch break of the week. Before we get started, if you guys are feeling like there's anything within your body that needs some more attention, specifically with the stretching, go ahead and drop it into the chat. We can definitely work it in to what I have planned for us today. I have some good stretches planned for us today to address some of the areas that we may have used in Jazzy's class earlier today, and probably some stuff that is tight regardless, because all we're doing these days is sitting and standing at our desk. So take a moment. We'll give it a solid 30 seconds. Go ahead and drop anything in the chat that you feel like you want to get stretched out, and then we can get it started. No equipment required here today, guys, as per usual. We're just going to need some space around us. All right, neck, definitely. I love doing neck stuff. I believe we should be doing that stuff every day. Definitely get some neck stuff in. Okay, if no one has anything else, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's get started on the ground here in our space. And what we're going to start with is that shin box position. Now, this can be definitely difficult to get into, but the more we practice, the better we're going to get at it. So knee bent at 90 degrees, knee and ankle resting in front of me here, and then I got my other leg, knee at 90 degrees, knee and ankle resting on the ground here out to my side. What we're going to start with is kind of a core exercise. We're going to tighten up our core, hinge forward, and then rotate to that side leg. So let's spread out those arms, do the best you can here. Keep the core super tight, hinge forward as much as you comfortably can while keeping that spine straight. Bring it back up. And then let's twist that torso to that side leg and then bring it back to center. Do as much as you can here. Make sure we're not bending the spine at any point. If you can only bend and then rotate a little bit, that's all right. Practice makes perfect. Let's do one more here and then we'll switch it over to the other side. Don't forget to breathe here, guys. We don't want to be holding our breath necessarily. All right, good work. Let's go ahead and flip it on over to the other side. So whatever leg you started with in front, let's get that opposite leg in front now. Knee and ankle resting on the ground. Out front, knee and ankle resting on the ground out to the side. You might notice right about now that one side a little bit tighter than the other when it comes to those hip joints. So do what you can. Let's get those arms out. Hinge. Come back up. And then let's rotate to that side leg. For me, this is the tighter side. I can feel my left hip doesn't want to lay as flat. That's all right. Got to keep practicing. Make sure we don't go in the other direction. One more here, guys. One more hinge and twist. Keep breathing. Breathe through that stretch. Good job, guys. All right, relax those arms. All right, we're going to stay in this shin box position for this next one. We're going to be moving back and forth between our two starting positions. So if you feel advanced enough, try and keep those arms up, and then we'll switch the hips from side to side. If you're not feeling as confident today, go ahead and lean back on those hands. And so when we lean back on the hands, try and keep the spine still nice and straight. And what we'll do is we'll switch over just like that. We can go back and forth. So you can rest on the hands back there. What I'm going to try and do, probably going to end up moving around on the ground here a little bit, but I'm going to try with the arms out. So if you're trying with the arms out, core super tight, rotating all the way over nice and clean like that. Take a breath, try and go to the other side. Totally okay if you're leaning back on those hands. It took me years to be able to do this that I'm doing right now. And it all started with me leaning back on those hands. Good work, you guys. Keep breathing. Find out where those hips are tight. Let's do one more each side now. One more. All right. Great job, you guys. That stuff is not easy. Let's go ahead and lie down on our backs here. Can stretch out the posterior chain a little bit more now. All right, I'm gonna start with my left leg here. What we're gonna do, extend one leg up towards the ceiling. Let's take our hands, interlace them behind the thigh here on our hamstrings. Keep that knee slightly bent. We don't wanna straighten it out all the way. We wanna be able to just kind of hold it up in the air, let that leg rest in your hands. And what we're gonna do now is do a little bit of flossing of that sciatic nerve. So let's point our toes toward our nose and then point our toes up towards the ceiling. So heel up close towards the ceiling. There we go, there's that stretch. And then point the toes. Just going back and forth. You might be feeling the tension in the calves, hamstrings, low back, glutes maybe all of them, and that's okay. Just trying to release that tension. That nerve does get really angry if we spend a lot of time sitting on it, not stretching, not moving it through all the muscles that it innervates. All right, one more each way. So toes toward the nose, toes towards the ceiling. Nicely done, guys. Let that knee bend. Bring that leg down to rest on the ground. Let's switch it over to the other side. So same thing, interlace those fingers. Let that leg rest in your hand or hands here for a sec. And then let's find that good stretch, bringing the heel up towards the ceiling and then toes up towards the ceiling. Make sure we're breathing here. We don't want to hold our breath in anticipation. Relax into that stretch. Try and make those exhales a little bit longer than the inhales. Good work here, guys. Good work. One more. Toes up towards the ceiling. And then heel up towards the ceiling. There we go. Nicely done. Okay, let that leg bend. Bring it back to the ground. Let's roll over onto our sides. Push ourselves up. Take your time here, guys. Okay, next, since we got a request for some neck stuff, I want to stretch out one of my favorite and super important neck muscles, and that is the levator scapula. What we're gonna do, you can either do this in standing or sitting. If you're sitting, I suggest moving against something that you can lean back against just a little bit, whether that's a wall or a piece of furniture or your desk or something like that, just something that we can kind of sit and rest against. And if you're standing, just have that core tight, make sure the spine doesn't move anywhere else. So what we're gonna start with, taking that hand, placing it on the top back of our head here, so our elbow's kind of right in front of our face. If you're using your right hand, rotate that head to the right and then to the left if you're using your left hand. And then let the weight of that hand pull your chin and face kind of down towards your armpit. And what we're looking for here is a stretch on the back left side of the neck. Keep breathing here, relax into that stretch. Good work, guys. The stretch is different for everyone, so you might need to mess around to kind of find the optimal spot for you. One more deep breath. Good job, you guys. All right, now coming out of it, let's bring the chin up first, and then we'll rotate, bringing ourselves back into the middle. You can let that hand down. All right, opposite side now. So I'm going with the left hand, bringing the elbow up directly in front of the face. Gonna rotate to the side, and then use that hand to bring my chin and face down towards my armpit. Make sure the rest of the body is nice and tall. Feeling that stretch in the side or kind of back, the right side of the neck. Stretching this muscle is important because it runs from the backs of our skulls right down to the top of our shoulder blades. And when it shortens, it brings our, one of those muscles, it brings the shoulder blade up. But it's found, we hold a lot of stress in this muscle. So with each exhale, I feel that stress that we might hold in our necks wash away a little bit. One more breath here, guys. Good job. All right. Next up, chin up, then rotate back to the middle. We can release that arm. Nicely done. We got time for one more thing. Let's go ahead and stretch out those shoulders. So come into a nice hands and knees position here. What we're going to do is thread the needle, stretch out the back of our shoulders. I'm going to start with my right hand. It's going to come right through the gap between my left arm and left knee. I'm going to plant it down on the ground here. The back of my hand is going to push into the ground. And what I'm going to do is pull away with my right upper back. So we should be feeling some stretching, rear shoulder area, maybe mid-back, maybe in the lats. Back of my hand is planted on the ground here, and then I'm just pulling away, stretching out those muscles. Let's keep the breathing going. One more deep breath, big exhale. Nicely done, you guys. Okay, release the tension. Let's bring that arm back under the shoulder. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna reach through the gap, my right arm and my right knee with my left hand, plant that on the ground. And now I'm pulling away with my left upper back. Good job, you guys, good job. One more deep breath and a long exhale. Nicely done. Let's slowly come out of that position. You guys can come into kneeling, sitting, or standing, and that will conclude the final live stretch break of the week. Again, my name is Luis Morales. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I do love these sessions where we can kind of move around together, even though we're not truly together. If you guys are looking for some activity, go check out the Holiday Step Challenge on our SharePoint site. Super fun way to get active, to be competitive with other Autodeskers, and also have an awesome chance at winning some cool prizes, TRX discount codes, tote bags, water bottles, the whole 9 yards. So go check that out. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day, great evening. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Luis.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming. See you guys later.